unpredictable symptoms is because that your body has turned against you and cannot be trusted anymore, or is there something else going on here? Now, my name is Anindita and I am a functional medicine certified health coach and practitioner, and today I'm talking about shifting your perspective from feeling betrayed by your body because you've been dealing with unpredictable symptoms maybe for months, years, or even decades, and seeing them as cries for help that they really are, vying for your attention. But I understand why you may come to believe that your body has sort of betrayed you, or that you're unpredictable, or these random and seemingly unconnected symptoms just come out of the blue. And if you've been dealing with symptoms for a while, they may seem random, may seem unconnected, with no way of finding a solution. That's where many people remain stuck, right? Unfortunately, the conventional approach of focusing on symptom management only reinforces that belief, right? So if this is something that you have been dealing with, Piku, you're here, nice to see you. You can just give me a thumbs up. And this is what I'm talking about. It's a very important topic because this is where a lot of people remain stuck, right? And I used to feel this way for a very long time when we were dealing with our daughter's health issues. Like, she had severe eczema as a child, and we were, for many years, this is where we were. Every other day, there was something or the other going on, right? Now, some new symptom would crop up. Of course, the biggest symptom was dry skin, but then we used to try and manage that, then some infection, then something else. So I remember a time and she was already on oral medications. There was nothing else left to do, really, right? It was already on whatever medication that they could have given her to manage her immune system. And even in spite of that, this continued. And I remember a time that we basically were in the doctor's clinic, I think almost every 2 days, right? Because we were so desperate, and she was so small. She was not yet 7 years old, and we had no clue as to what to do, how to manage, her infection, her skin. She could not sleep at night, and we were not, we just couldn't manage, and we sort of trying to survive. And so I can completely understand why mysterious symptoms can make you feel betrayed by your body, right? Unexplained flare-ups with no answers can make you feel powerless. But what if we saw them differently, like a baby's cry for help? Like any mother would know, anyone would know that a baby, is crying for attention and care, right? Because that is the only way that it can signal to us something that it needs, that she or he needs. And as a mother, we don't view it as a war or as a personal attack, right? We know it's a way of communication because they can't speak yet. That's their way of communication, right? So as a mother, we don't get distressed in the sense that we don't take it as a personal attack, right? I have, as a new mother with my daughter, I remember trying to figure out, why is she crying? Is it diaper change? Is it feeding time? What is it, right? So your body actually works in a similar way. Your body is also, giving you these signals to the form of symptoms. They are a cry for help, and they signal that something is out of balance, that something needs to be attended to. However, if we continue to look at these symptoms with frustration instead of compassion, we often completely miss the signal, the messages behind the signals, right? We would not do that if it were our child, right? We would attend to the child with compassion rather than, at least we would try to, rather than being, frustrated all the time. So seeing your symptoms this way, they actually become like these clues on your healing journey, right? And it allows you to be guided by them. It allows you to be guided by your body. And this shift in perspective puts you back in control. That's what you want, right? You want to be in control of your own health. You want to be in control of your own healing. And now, suddenly your body is not to be silenced anymore, right? It is your friend trying to offer you some solutions. However, you have to start paying attention to it. And this is exactly what I help women do in my own coaching programs, in my 1:1 coaching programs. I help them decode their unique signals so that they can give their bodies what they want, right? That's how it works. And in fact, I have a group coaching program coming up in April, in the first week of April. I'm just working on that. I'll be sharing more details as we go along, where I will actually help women do this in a beautiful, safe community, because that's where true healing also happens, right? So I'm going to share that. But I completely understand. It's understandable if you feel that your body has turned against you when the symptoms have no resolution, right? You've pretty much tried everything, But if you continue to believe that your body has betrayed you, you're going to be stuck in what I call a disease merry-go-round, going round and round in circles, but not finding the answers. And this is where you could go from a specialist to a specialist, you could from test to test, you could follow strict diets and still continue to suffer for months or even years to come. And that's very common in the case of autoimmune conditions, the kind of people whom I work with, and all because the underlying triggers are often unresolved and unaddressed, right? Nobody has really dug deep down, and we look at functional medicine is about actually becoming a detective in this sense, and it's about digging deeper and deeper and uncovering the layers so that actually we get to the root, right? Understand what is happening and why. So if you reframe your symptoms as your body sending you important signals, right, giving you these messages as to what you need to focus on, why, that is when the change happens. That is when everything around you suddenly shifts. So the choice is yours actually. Will you continue to see your body as going out to sabotage you, as your enemy, or will you make it your friend so that you can work cooperatively together as a team? So now that we have reframed symptoms as helpful communication rather than harmful betrayal, like you're moving from helpful communication to helpful communication from harmful betrayal, you might be wondering that how can I actually start decoding these signals, right? How can I actually understand what my body is telling me? And it starts with a paradigm shift. It starts with understanding that your body is not working against you, it's actually working for you. Again, I know that it may not seem that way when you're dealing with 100, 150, 200 symptoms, and I worked with women who had 200 symptoms at the beginning, and then we slowly sort of dug deeper and deeper and deeper till their symptoms sort of decreased, and by the time they stopped working with me, it's never going to be zero, of course, right? We don't live in perfect bodies and perfect environments, but it was in maybe the late 20s, right? Which is actually very normal, but it is possible, and this change can happen quite drastically simply because you are being guided by your own body rather than just going around in circles trying to get answers elsewhere, right? But these unpredictable flare-ups and those nagging issues, they invite you to understand and uncover what your body needs to thrive, right? Taking a root cause resolution approach means that you see symptoms as clues. Again, I come back again and again to the fact that these are all pieces of your health puzzle, right? If you visualize this as a puzzle, it might, I used to love puzzles as a child. So I love using this analogy because it just gives us the right visual, seeing these all as pieces of the puzzle, how symptoms come in, the test reports come in, the diet comes in, your lifestyle comes in, your mindset comes in. These are all different pieces. And all the pieces have to start fitting together. And they do. When you actually start decoding these, your pieces start fitting in together, and that's when you actually start seeing the changes. Because whether it's, as I said, whether it's testing, etc., because your symptoms are guiding you all this way. So you actually now find a way to cultivate an empowered relationship with your body, and it's a cooperative relationship, right? You're not working against it anymore. You're seeing it as a friend, and it's amazing that when you do that, the kind of significant reduction in symptoms that you can see, the increased mental and emotional resilience. Yes, it's not just physical symptoms. And that is not something that I only focus on, because it's not just physical aspect of your health, right? It is connected to the mental, emotional, and even spiritual aspects of your healing. What happens naturally as a kind of a side effect is that your mental and emotional resilience also increase, right? That's something that the group coaching program will focus on a lot actually. And there's a renewed sense of well-being as you take charge, right? You actually start thriving. And in fact, in my latest podcast episode, which actually it's a bonus episode on functional medicine, it's from moving from surviving to thriving using the power of functional medicine. It's episode 15. You can check it out at aninditaroonta.com/podcast, right? I've talked a bit more about this. So I'm just curious at this point, now that you've heard me talk about this, have you ever considered your symptoms as a gift? You can say yes or no. I would love to hear from you. If you're watching this on replay, you can still comment. Piku, you can answer now. So have you ever considered your symptoms to be a gift rather than a burden, right? Gifts that reveal exactly what your body and mind needs right now, for you to take care of it properly. How much hopeful and happy would you be if you viewed your health journey in this manner, right? Looking at this as gifts. And isn't it more important to focus on cooperating with your body rather than fighting against it too? So that you can move towards balance and healing. Remember, we are not talking about a cure, because a cure may or may not be possible in any kind of complex chronic disease, but healing is certainly possible, simply because healing not only addresses the physical aspects of your health, it also addresses the emotional and the mental aspects. So continuing to mislabel symptoms as messages as attacks will only undermine your power and leave you feeling frustrated, and confused as to what your next steps should be, right? So embracing this mindset change can, and finding out that your symptoms have been trying to communicate something with you can completely change your life. So let me ask you at this point, do you want to continue to perceive your body's symptoms as attacks and maybe the unpredictable symptoms as betrayal, or are you prepared to now change the way you look at it and change the way you approach symptoms, right? Look at them as actually very important clues and maybe even as gifts finally, right? So that you feel empowered with this new perspective, with this different way of thinking. That will give you the confidence and the build resilience that you need to deal with whatever challenges that come your way. That's when I talked about emotional and mental resilience that goes hand in hand. Because if you don't, you basically are at the risk of not being able to get off what I call the disease merry-go-round, right? You remain stuck in a disease. But if you reframe the way you look at messages, your symptoms as messages, then there is a path ahead for you. So if you feel ready to embrace this total mindset shift and stop viewing your body and its symptoms as enemies, I encourage you to take the next step. So understanding your confusing symptoms as meaningful messages is the first phase, right? This is something that I focus on right from day one in my own coaching program. But for you, you're watching this live, you're watching this on replay, what you can do to help yourself today is just download my free autoimmune symptom relief guide. That will help you to explore lifestyle tweaks and natural solutions to help you start decoding, changing your relationship with your body, and understanding what these symptoms could possibly mean, like what they need, right? So you can head to anindita.com/symptom relief. That's anindita.com/symptom relief. Or you can head to the link in bio and get your free guide today. And that's all I had to share. I will see you again soon. If you have any questions before I end, this is the time to put it down now. Any questions or any thoughts, I'll just give you a couple of minutes to get that. But I chose to talk about this topic because I feel that we don't talk about all these things often enough. We talk about diets, we talk about supplements, even in the functional medicine space where we focus on addressing the root causes of disease. I also mentioned that functional medicine is like, being a health detective, where you uncover what the triggers are, what the root causes possibly be, and then find a long-term root cause solution so that you find sustained relief and comfort. But even there, sometimes often we get stuck in focusing only on the diets and the supplements and the tests, right? So we don't really get into these finer aspects which are equally important. What is the mindset that you're approaching your health with? What is a mindset that you're approaching your symptoms like? Are you looking at your body as an enemy or as a friend to be fought, right? To be suppressed, because we talk about immune suppression a lot, right? So what is the kind of perspective? What is the kind of approach that you're taking? That itself has a huge impact on your health, because what you want to do is not just merely survive. What you want to do is also to thrive, right? So I want you to get started. Head to the anindita.com/symptom relief and get my guide, download the guide and get started on your healing journey.